Now, let's have a look at example 2 where we work backwards, converting from improper fractions to mixed numbers. So, example 2, convert to mixed number. Part A. Let's convert 11 quarters into a mixed number. So you got to do some division, right? First think of, well, if I have 11 slices of pizza and every whole pizza is cut into 4 slices because the denominator is 4, how many whole pizzas can I get, right? And how many remaining slices do I have? So you're asking yourself, when you divide 4 into 11, so how many quarters are there in 11 slices? Well, 4 goes into 11 2 times. Because 4 times 2 is 8. And how many is remaining once you divide 4 into 11? So you would say that 11 over 4, because remember, fractions are the same as division. So 4 going into 11 gives you 2 wholes, because 4 times 2 is 8. And how many slices do you have remaining? Well, 11 take away 8 gives you 3 slices. So you have 3 remaining out of 4 slices, so quarters on the bottom, because your denominator fraction is always quarters. You start off with quarters, you still keep with quarters. And again, you can check your answers by working backwards. So remember, the pattern to go from mixed number to improper is denominator times the wholes. So 4 times 2 gives you 8, and you add on the top number, which is 3. So 8 plus 3 is 11, which is what we had in the question, 11 over 4. So we've done the right thing. So part B, let's do 16 over 4. Right now, this is an improper fraction because the top number is bigger than the bottom number. You ask yourself, how many times does 4 go into 16? 4 times, because 4 times 4 is 16. Are there any remainders? No, because 4 times 4 is perfectly 16. So you would have no remainders. So really, 16 over 4 is the same as the whole number 4. And that would be our answer, because we've simplified the improper fraction 16 over 4. I'm going to finish off with example C today. Let's simplify and convert 20 over 6 to a mixed number. So there's 2 ways to approach this. You can either divide everything into the parts of 6, because the denominator is in the 6. So 6 goes into 20 how many times? Well, 6 times 3 is 18. So we have 3 wholes. After we have 18, how many remainder do we have? Well, 20 take away 18 is 2 over 6. Now, you must always write your answer in simplified form. So right now, you have in your fraction part 2 over 6. Now, that's not simplified because these numbers are both even, which means you can divide top and bottom by 2, which means you can write it as 3 and 1/3. So your final answer would be 3 wholes and 1/3. So always make sure, simplify your fractions. Now, I said there was an alternative way to doing this, right? So the other way you can think of is, well, let's think about 20 over 6. You already see that 20 and 6 are both even, so you can simplify this fraction first before you convert it to a mixed number. So you would go, well, 20 and 6 are both even, so if I divide both by 2, then I get 10 over 3. And then you go, well, 3 goes how many times into 10? Well, 3 times 3 gives me 9. And how many remainders do I have? Well, 10 minus 9 gives me 1. So I have 1 over 3 remaining. So I still get the same answer, 3 and 1/3. So there's 2 ways you can approach these problems. Either turn it into a mixed number and then simplify. Always have your answer fraction as simplified, otherwise you'll lose half a mark. Or you can simplify first and then convert it to a mixed number. Now, it depends, if the denominator is a big number and you can simplify, it might be easier to simplify it first, because then you can divide by smaller numbers. Whereas if you have a big number, it'll be much harder to turn it into a mixed number. But both will still get you the same answer, with making sure you always simplify